So I watched K-pop Demon Hunter, and one of the questions I had was, why is this movie so popular? And so I talked to my kids about it because they have seen it and they were really excited about me watching it. And so I watched it with them, and this is just some of my thoughts of watching the movie. So before I get started, I just want to say that I really enjoyed watching this movie. But there are just some things that I wanted to share that is a reminder for those of us that are Christian, that is watching this movie, that we should definitely pay attention to. Let's get started. So I watched this K-pop movie, and like I said, I wanted to answer the question, why is this movie so popular? And so before I go any further, this move, I will be sharing a lot of spoilers when it comes to this movie. So if you haven't watched it and you want to watch it, do not watch this movie, do not watch my video, but come back to it after you know exactly what I'm talking about, and then we can have a discussion in the comments. So definitely subscribe if this is the type of content that you love to watch. So K-pop Hunters is about these three singers that have been going throughout all different types of generations of singing different type of music, and what they do is whenever they sing, they are I guess the Hun Moon is supposed to protect the people from this evil king or this evil person that is trying to take the people's soul. And so what they do is these singers sing to protect the people from this evil person taking their soul. And so now we have these three singers who in today present day who is loves to sing, and the main character of this whole group is Rumi, who is half demon and half human. Her father was a demon, and so she has these marks on her body that indicates that you are a demon. And so she's hiding that part of herself from her bandmates and from everybody else. And the only two people that know is obviously herself and then her mom. Her mom is basically telling her, okay, you need to defeat this person so you can get those stripes off your body and not let everybody know about it, because they are not going to understand who you are or who you were or what has happened to you. And so one of the evil beings one of the evil beings creates a Korean boy band called the Saja Boys, and that is their way of trying to get the people's soul. And the Saja Boys is this 5-member Korean boy band that is, very attractive and very that can sing and become instantly popular with the population, with the people. And so this is the evil person's way of, and I'm calling the person, but it's the evil king, I guess, I don't know, of the demons that is using this Saja boy band to capture the people's soul. And so you see throughout this whole plot what this evil king is trying to do and what the three singers is trying to do as well. And it's basically about accepting who you are and defeating the evilness of this world and the demons and different things like that. And so one of the things that I liked about this movie is the fact that it is extremely colorful. It is there is a lot going on. There is a lot going on, and the songs are very catchy. I can see why it is very popular. One of the things that we need to, as Christians, we need to be mindful is the fact that what this movie does is kind of blur the lines of good and evil. And so in the context of this movie, it is about Korean culture and some of the folklore that is being talked about. And so Maggie Kung is the creator of this whole movie, and she actually says herself that she wanted to showcase Korean culture. And so in the context of Korean culture, that's basically what you're learning. You're learning about the different creatures and demons deal with when it comes to good and evil. And so for me, when it comes to watching like these demons and how they created these demons in this cartoon movie, to me was scary, okay? The way that they draw the demons and even this tiger or the cat that was kind of following around, it just seems silly, and he seems like he's trying to be funny. And that's actually what my daughter said. As soon as I saw this cat kind of had like this blank stare with a smile on its face, and I looked at the cat like, that is scary. If I was just walking around and then I turn a corner and I see something like that, I would jump and be scared. Okay, that's what my daughter said. He's very silly, mommy. The tiger is very silly, and so I can understand that, in the movie, in the context, this is part of their culture. And so, but at the same time, we need to really understand as Christians what the Bible says or what God says when it comes to how should we deal with the demons? How should we deal with idols? How do we deal with our inner demons, right? And so that is the question that is going through my mind when I'm looking at this movie and watching just some of the things that is being played out. And another thing too that I've noticed is that the girl group notices the boy group, right? And so you know how in anime, they are really dramatic in a lot of their in their emotions and how they act. And so the girl group sees the boy group, and then one of the girls sees one of the guys, and her eyes turn into abs and then she's talking about how hot one of the boys is, and so her eyeballs turn into abs, and then they turn into corn. And then as she's staring at him and looking at him, the corn is being popped, turning into popcorn because of how she's lusting after this boy group. And so that's one of the things that I kind of want to be mindful and just kind of talk to my kids. I have older kids. I have twins that are turning 21, and then I have a 12-year-old. And then I was looking at the movie and what their age group is, and it's for it's over 10 years old. And so I thought sitting down with my kids and just kind of talking about just some of the things that I like and some of the things that I didn't like about this movie. And my daughter, I homeschool her part-time, and she goes to public school as well. And then in public school, the girls are talking about K-pop Demon Hunter quite a bit. And she is, sharing her own perspective, and she's talking about it. And I think being aware of, not hiding our kids from what is being popular, out in public, and also being mindful and discerning what is appropriate for kids as well. Because even in Disney, they show a lot of inappropriate stuff that's not good for kids. If you guys haven't heard of Snoop Dogg talking about that when he's watching the movie with Buzz Lightyear, and there was a same-sex couple that was kissing, and then his grandson, Snoop Dogg's grandson, is asking like, "Grandpa, I thought babies came from a man and a woman," and that type of conversation happened. And he was just like, "I'm not ready to have that conversation with my grandson, but Disney, I'm just here to watch a movie, and this is what Disney is sharing. I'm not ready for that." And that is appropriate. That is appropriate reaction of watching. You just want to watch like a really clean movie and not having to be bombarded with all type of LGBT ideology. One of the scriptures that I wanted to just share with you guys is in 2 Corinthians 4:4, and it says this: "Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand this message about the glory of Christ, who is the exact likeness of God." And so in this movie, there is a blurred line of good versus evil. And it's almost like, well, this is the girl who was half demon and she's half human, and so she is the one that's trying to save the people. She loves to sing and she loves to help the people, and so this is almost like this coddling of, well, it's a demon, yes, but, and it's this type of rhetoric and idea that is being thrown into these type of movies, even in Disney, that we should be mindful of as Christians. We should definitely discern, and how you discern is really sifting through reading the Word of God. What does God say about about good and evil. What does God say about idol worship and different things like that? And so that is one of the scriptures and one of the things that I want to talk about. And so towards the end of this movie, eventually the main character, Rumi, shows who she is to her friends and to everybody, and she's singing that main song. I think it's called Golden. I think that's what it's called. I'm not 100% sure. I'm okay. I don't really care. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't really care for the music. I understand how it's very catchy, but the song that I do like, and here's the reason why I like it. The song that I do like is the Idol Worship. I think it's called Idol by the Saja Boys. And this is why I like it. I like it because they are in the movie, they are in their demon form singing this song about idol worship. And this is just one of the, and this is the first verse. It says, keeping you in check, keeping you obsessed, play me on repeat endlessly in your head. Anytime it hurts, play another verse. I can be a sanctuary. Know I'm the only one right now. I will love you more when it all burns down. More than power, more than gold. Yeah, you gave me your heart. Now I'm here for your soul. And they do that. And that's the part that I like when they do that. But the reason why I personally like it is because that is exactly what the enemy does. The enemy prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour, which is in 1 Peter, I believe. 1 Peter 5:8-9, and it talks about that. And so that's one of the things that the enemy does. So hearing something like Your Idol by the Saja Boys sounds good. Yes, it sounds good, but eventually the whole point of them being so attractive and looking so nice and singing so good is they want your soul. And that is exactly what the enemy does. The enemy blinds us to the things of God, keeps us away from the things of God. And so as a reminder, I wanted to share just some of those things that as Christians, we need to understand that everything we build our foundation on God, on Jesus Christ. We build and get our discernment from God and from Jesus Christ, reading his word and being able to sift through what is the world saying about sin? What is the world saying about demons? What is the world saying about idol worship? What is the world saying that? And then make that comparison with what actually God says, because as Christians, we are followers of Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ is who we need to get our word from and our answers from. And so what does God say about sin? What does God say about idol worship? We should not be doing that. We should not be doing those things. Same time, I can understand why it is so popular. It's very colorful, very entertaining, and in some aspects it is funny. But at the same time, seriously, as a Christian, is not funny, because there are things like this that's happening in the world that society embraces and blur the lines when it comes to good and evil. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Let me know if you want to talk about it some more, and let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless.